more or nothing.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of More or Nothing. It's an episode brought to you by NordVPN. So thanks to our new sponsors. First question is, Max, do you ever use a VPN?
Yeah, I use it just to get the other funky episodes off of foreign Netflix, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan, what do you...
Grinning like a German
Ryan,
cat.
what do you use a VPN for?
If I was abroad and I needed to maybe watch, I don't know, some British TV, I use a VPN.
Exactly.
Very
You want to watch
good.
BBC iPlayer when you're abroad?
Why? What were
Chuck
you?
it
You were
on.
thinking something else. You were thinking something
Well,
else, Max.
everybody who
It's a
listens to
very-
the show was thinking something else, but it's very useful for hiding your data and you know, that sort of thing.
In this
Particularly,
world.
great example, Six Nations this weekend, but you're on a stag do in Prague. Oh no, what do? Do you look for that incredibly difficult to find pub that's playing probably rugby, but maybe not? No. Get your VPN on.
No.
NordVPN. Switch. Premier Sports, I use it to gaze at Ryan and the URC. You know, you can watch your TNT subscriptions and all that sort of jazz as well when you're abroad. So that is a perfect way to... Yeah, it is the
Digital
future.
piracy is everywhere as well, people. Encrypt everything. Goddamn.
Yeah,
Max, surely, Max, just like our other sponsors, you've got to give us a NordVPN.
NordVPN.
That's right. That is right. And to get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/maul. MAUL, like More or Nothing. Does that make sense? Our link will also give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan, and there's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Link is in the podcast episode description box. And boom, there we go. In any case, aside from, premium cybersecurity for the price of a cup of coffee per month, what else is going on, lads? How are we?
Lads have got the week off and it's already got weird. But it's
What?
been nice, you know,
Why has
just
it got
chilling out.
weird? Why has it got weird?
It's like full embrace existential feelings, spiritual revolution inbound, but all is well.
Oh,
otherwise.
really? Oh,
Ooh.
really? Okay.
You know when when you're like free of the sort of Groundhog Day schedule, and then suddenly you're looking for meaning again, and you're like, oh, where will this come from now?
Welcome to my life.
Yeah,
Welcome
yeah.
to my life.
I can only.
Max, this is, you know, like I've gone into these weird rants on here, and I've been looking for help. That is me, just in abundance now. I just don't know what to do with myself. I'm just that's why
you
girls-
keep busy, and you've got your children. That's a wonderful path for meaning as well.
Yeah, those little fuckers can keep you busy. They're off.
Absolutely.
They're on the school holidays
How
at the
sweet.
moment. You're right, but and also like I know you probably don't want to touch on it too much, and we'll sort of skirt over it. But we genuinely, myself and Mark, don't know the ins and outs of it. But like with all the contract stuff going on at the moment, there must be, you know, that to think about now. And there's a lot going on in Max's life. Still redecorating the house.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Busy time.
exactly. It is a busy time. It's a time of change, of flux.
We're here for you, man.
No,
Yeah, we're here.
shit,
Lots of
that's-
interested suitors, though, Max. So, you know, it's an exciting time. Pick a destination.
It's always exciting, indeed. Right, what have you been up to?
Rugby, mate. Back to it. The URC was back on this weekend, so I was here, there, and everywhere. Down at Edinburgh, making good mates, as per usual. Not with the wrong side. I was upsetting some people, but making friends. Meanwhile, Edinburgh Zebre, and then I was up and down to Wales. Caught up with our old mate Nico Matawalu, who that man just never ever ceases to amaze me, like in his movements in life. And then up and down, actually. I went over to the dark side yesterday, boys. You don't know about it, Max. I think I saw it on your run sheet that you sent me, Mark. Is that what the Trojan horse appearing on a rival podcast stands for?
That is exactly it. Tell us, where were you? What were you doing?
I went in undercover, Max. I headed over to the dark side to see how others do it. I went on the GBR. I went on the GBX podcast. Let's call it. Let's not give them any shite. It's shite, basically. It'll be good this week because I was on it, but Mark's like competitor, the real
McCoy, the real McCain.
Yeah, but mate, he's equally like they've got the same sort of running joke because he's equally stupidly posh. I mentioned your school to him because he was like, well, I said, "Oh, we've got a really posh bloke that does our stuff as well." Actually, and we call him. He's called Bargain Bin Pano, and he obviously loved it. And they said, "Oh, what school did he go to? Was it Radley?"
Yeah.
Yeah, they slagged it off, mate.
Where did he go to school?
So no,
He knows. Mark knows. What is it?
Yeah, I think he was.
Oh,
Mark,
Etonian. Oh god.
Different.
Is that
right? Their chant you played Eton was you will go to a minor public school, a minor public school, a minor public school. It was priceless.
Mate, no, what was the other one? It's your dad works for my dad. That was the one that you're like, you guys are awful.
It was horrible.
You guys are dreadful.
So anyway, I went over. I did a little bit of market research. I tell you what, they've got a bit of a team around them, a slightly bigger team than we've got. But I'm sure you, as the listeners here, will know, and you can weigh into the comments. Just tell us how much you love us over them. Why do you love us over them? Because Hass did his normal thing, just chatted about himself the whole fucking time. And
how's his hair?
Yeah, they pretended they didn't know what More or Nothing was. I was like, "Come on, boys, I know that you're worried about us." Hairline's looking strong, actually. It's a bit bitty on the top, but
bitty.
Now, do you know what? They're good blokes. Like I always get on with you. I mentioned I saw him a few weeks ago at the Scotland game, didn't I? Where I actually forgot. Like I must have been more drunk than I thought because they brought out this chocolate egg, right? And it was all like, "Oh look, a chocolate rugby ball shaped egg," and the lady came out with this little hammer. And I forgot this, but everyone was like trying to break it with this little hammer, and I just grabbed James Haskell's head and smashed it off the rugby egg, and it just broke everywhere. Bits of his hair left in it. So he reminded me of that.
Man, that's a large Easter Island cranium on that man. Yeah,
big old dumb. So no, it was good. I tried to pump us up. I've made note of all their sponsors. We'll go and we'll reach out to all of them.
Good work, poacher.
But yeah, they had about 8 people behind the scenes. I was like, what the fuck are these lot doing? We got producer Jim. Like, Anyway, it was all right, boys. You know why they had me in. They had me in for the big one, the England-Scotland stuff, to talk that up, chat about that. But do not head over there and listen to that. Stay here, listen to us, and tell us why you prefer More or Nothing.
Brilliant. And Ryan said that he used obviously the name of our show about 1,000 times, and was like, even if you beat me out, it's gonna be good for us because it will just sound like I'm getting beeped out the whole time.
I'm just like, yeah. So I'm More or Nothing. Basically, it's podcast that we do. They're just like, please stop, please. I was like, fuck off, Ask. That's all he did. I was like, why were you on our show once? And he was like, because I was promoting my book. And I was like, that's why. That was it, wasn't it?
He was so, yeah, exactly.
All he kept doing was plugging his book. So, but yeah, it was. It's good to get an insight on how others do it. But yeah, if I was a guest on here, I see why they prefer coming in. I see why they prefer coming in. But yeah, I've tried to plug us as much as I can over there, boys. I wonder if any of their listeners are coming after listening. Maybe you
come
are.
And say hi.
If you are,
come and say hi.
Yeah. You're
not. There's
Tell
no
us why
such thing. We are not monogamous. You're not even cheating on GBI. You're just having a good bloody time.
Stop saying it. You don't need to say that. It's GBX. What's it called?
GBX after 9 p.m. Watershed, and come and enjoy all of us in a sort of in a safe way. In any case, Max, you've done all of that. A quick word because we probably won't get round to it, but you had a bit of a game as well.
Yes, we played the dreaded enemy. What's that?
Did you? Yeah, Max came on.
Yeah, I played like half an hour. Yeah, it was a nice little foray into it. Bath came down. We spanked him. Took a while though. They were keeping level with us up until about when I came on actually. Well, no, and then no. The bench, the Pine Riders to the rescue, boys. We got it done. But yeah, it was good. It was good crack just to get amongst it. It was quite good fun. And
there is our clip for the week. It's like it's the scoreline. It's Bristol losing. It's like, don't worry, boys. Replacements are coming.
Yeah. Elser is hot. We're under fire. Yeah, and then mate, it was class. It was a nice day out. It was good to catch up with a few boys, and saw Tom Dunn Alex Middleton. It was quite good crack. Yeah,
play.
all-
And
all
I'm
that.
congratulations on the win.
I'm hearing contracts are getting cut at Bath like heavy. I'm hearing
Yeah,
hearing pay cuts. I'm hearing
I've heard, mate.
contracts halved.
I've heard they're basically putting up high profile guys to clubs. Like we're talking like current internationals, boys, and
What, are
sort of
being hawked out to other clubs?
walked out and back paying the contract. So they pay sort of a portion of it, and the club takes the rest of it because
would
they're
that
trying to
is-
get under the salary cap.
They are inside scoop here, more or
Mm.
nothing.
Ooh, that is.
That is
keep
the
an eye on that
interest-
one. Juicy.
Interesting
On
times
the
because
grapevine.
no, whilst we're on it, we chat like all the chat around London Irish as well. I don't know. I'm sorry, I've got the run sheet here, but I haven't even started to look at it. But I don't know whether you've covered that off. Eddie Jones, obviously. Eddie Jordan.
Yeah.
A former F1 boss. He is bought London Irish. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I heard some strange things that it was linked with URC.
No, well, that's it. The talk is they want to try and get into the URC. So I'll do a little bit more digging, but I don't know how it fits. I mean, we chatted about it a while ago. You know, maybe keep the URC as it is, split it into two. Once a couple more Premiership teams start to go adrift, which was the thought, then maybe they would merge them. But I don't know, bring in one random Premiership team. They wouldn't be London Irish anymore, would they? I wonder what they'd be called.
No, and then also the Saudi deal with Newcastle looks like it could be coming to fruition as well. Very interesting.
But there's
time.
talk of a Saudi league as well.
There is
You know,
talk of the Saudi league as well. I've heard that. I have heard that.
non-disclosure agreements have been signed.
Really
By you
Is that
two. Brilliant.
true?
By me, yeah, by me. No. Genuinely, there's players out there. There's players out there, some big name players that I've heard have signed some non-disclosure agreements as to if it was to go forward. So there are waves. There are waves, and
Boys, would you do it? Genuinely. Max, would you do it? Triple your salary?
Yeah, that sounds fascinating.
I think it's
Triple
double the salary. I think
Double
it's double.
salary. Okay. Double salary for shortened season in Saudi is what it's
Yeah,
it
that
sounds like.
sounds yes. Swimming. Yeah, that sounds quite lovely. The attritional prem or that. Yeah, no, I'll take that. Absolutely.
They are. So if you are listening, anyone to do with that league, Max Leaf is available. So
Available.
I'll go have a
And
word.
we're available to be your official podcast voice if you give us loads of cash. We really actually love cash, don't we? We really do.
we love boys. By the way, I've got big news.
What have you got first?
Got big news. Wilson is playing rugby again.
When?
Yeah. What? That's massive
Okay.
news. But Farnham, what?
Classic Lions tour.
Have you done
Ah.
it? Have you said yeah?
Yeah, have I told you? I don't know. I can't remember. My brain
you
is
ma-
just a bit
No,
rotten
no,
at
you
the
haven't
moment.
talked about it on the pod.
Boys, I got a call. I got a text. Got the text. It was, listen, we're looking for a few more Scots to join us on the Classic Lions tour. I actually, like, before we put this out, we might have to double check if I'm allowed to say that I'm on it and who's going on it. But there's some good names, and it's the last two games of the back two games. So, is it Melbourne and Sydney? So we play on the Thursday. Friday, you have a bit of a piss up. Saturday, you go along to the game. Golf day on the Monday. And then it's back into it. Two games, Classic Lions against the Classic Wallabies.
That sounds
You might be asking, Wills, you never fucking play for the Lions. And I asked the same question. I did say, excuse me, can I just double check that you know I never played for the Lions? And they were like, no, we get it. We just, it's just some Scottish internationals we need on there. So, boys, I'm going to have to get fit.
And to be fair, why don't you dig up that photo of you at one of the Six Nations camps where they took a picture of you in a Lions kit and just be like, well, technically, I was sort of in and around, the Lions setup.
That
So
will
there
be
we go.
somewhere, won't it? That will be somewhere. So yeah, I'll build on it next week once I find out a little bit more and once I'm allowed to tell you more about it. But oh my, like the chat was, obviously you've been one of the younger ones, 35 years old, and so you should be one of the fitter ones, maybe. And I'm thinking, fuck me, you should see me and David Lloyd, mate, in the Blaze class. So you don't want me near a rugby field.
No, I reckon you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon you got like game engine, you got game taker.
Do I go into it with no training just to see how I do, or
Just for
do I
crack.
do a little bit? Do a little
No,
bit.
I reckon you just
Do some
go
training.
to the local club, just play like a couple of games.
Oh nah, really?
No, I wouldn't do that
I mean,
because
that's too dangerous.
you'll hurt yourself before you go, and then you'll be hobbling out there and feeling
Yeah,
awful.
that's
You
true.
might as well
Maybe
just
just go
be
to the
crocked
Tuesday,
out
Thursday
there.
session.
But Sean Maitland, I phoned Sean Maitland. I was like,
He's in.
Scucks. I was like, listen, I need a brother. I need a brother to go with. I need a roommate. Are you in? And he was like, let me see if I can get the visa. He got the visa. And me and Scucks going.
No way!
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
That's a good squad. Well, Max and I will
Australia.
come out and we'll hype man you. Max, you've got family out there.
So good.
We're
Yeah, I
there.
do.
You'll be holiday time anyway, so
Mm.
swing by via
Well,
Singapore.
mate, it's 2 weeks, 2 weeks before Joe Mac's wedding, so you might as well, Max.
Perfection. Yeah, absolutely. Get out there.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we have it. But, Gary's just bought a house out there. You're going to be able to.
Where
go stay.
did he buy?
He's in Sydney, so
Oh, good God.
we'll just set up shop. Like Gary's house. He listens to this, so he'll be hearing this and finding this out now.
Oh,
Thank you very much,
yeah.
Mr. McManus.
Thanks, Gary. I look
We'll
forward
be
to
dwelling
meeting
in
you.
the boat.
Mark's coming as well. Private jet. We'll get Mark to sort the private jet out. We'll stay at Gary's house, and we'll just have a laugh. Why not?
Look at that.
Oh,
There we
That
go.
is a classic all or nothing trip. No,
Sydney.
not really planned, and it's not really backed.
And the
Oh,
bloke
no.
that slides into the comments from Thailand will stop at yours on the way.
For a cheeky full
Yeah.
moon party.
I think Sydney might be like one of the most optimal hives of hedonism going right now in the first world. It is ridiculous. Right, when was the last time you were in Sydney?
When I played in that test, 2017 it will have been.
Oh wow! So don't you think it's a weird city though? It's sort of like a collection of weird villages around like that, the city bit, you know?
Oh, I loved it.
mate, it's
it
wonderful.
is a bit odd, but like Coogee, Manly, Joe's in Manly, isn't he? Up
Yeah,
like
he's
go
in
up that
Manly.
side,
Never leaving that.
DY, all that sort of place. So
Double Bay. Ooh.
yeah, but yeah, there we go. Watch the space, more or nothing, just on the Lions
Oh.
tour, but
On
just
the
stand at people's houses.
We really need. They'll be like, you don't have any accreditation, and we're just somehow.
No, we're
be-
with Wilson. We're with Wilson. He played on Thursday in the old blokes thing down the road.
Yeah,
the
he's
vets.
part of the squad. Which squad? Lions. Yeah, Lions. Just the older guys. Right. Anyway, let's actually look ahead to some rugby that's taking place a bit closer to home. Certainly in terms of when it's starting. It's round 3. We're going to start in chronological order. Wales versus Ireland. A new dawn for Welsh rugby.
Max, can you? We saw it coming. I mean, we haven't been on
We
this. since
did.
that
We
happened.
actually, and we said it wasn't a bad shout. Like we were like, do it now. Why not? Let's get it done. It's going to happen. And
Pull the
it
plaster
can't get
off.
much worse. It can't get much worse. And it's gonna get a little bit worse this weekend. Let's be honest. It's not going to change anything in particular. Apparently, Doris is out. Irish press losing it, but I don't think that's going to change much in the sort of grand scheme of things. Yeah. So Wales, a new dawn is approaching.
So
He's done the right thing, hasn't he? By the way, Matt Sherratt. He's come straight in and he's gone right. Remember those blokes that should have been in? We'll go and get them quick. And I know
Yeah.
people are going, Gareth Hanscom, he's 35, 36. He's not like the future of Wales, but you
need
need
him.
something. You need to do something.
You need
Like-
chicken. Get him in.
And you need a 10. Everyone's been talking Wales need a 10. They need to have an out-and-out 10. Llewellyn's come in, who should have been in there.
There he is.
I reckon I think it's good. And do you know what, boys? It actually, yes, you're right, Max. We look at this game, we look at how it's going to go. It's never going to be a good day for Wales with the Irish coming to town. But there will be a little bit more about them this week. And then in 2 weeks' time, obviously there's a fallow week. But they come to Scotland, suddenly buoyed a little bit after, and I don't want to jump too far ahead, but Scotland play England away. I'm a little bit worried about this one. So let's just say Scotland do lose against England. Suddenly Wales are coming up to Murrayfield with a little bit like, hold on a minute. We've got a little bit about us. And more excitingly, the last game of the tournament, England go to Principality, where it'll be all like they'll just be like, right, this is it, boys. It's now or never. I reckon out of Scotland and England, they get a win. I'm calling it here. I think Wales get a win. Suddenly get a win, just from from what it is, like the change in coaching staff, something about them, bringing some players in, bringing a new bit of energy. I'm suddenly really positive about Welsh rugby.
So, okay.
Are you sort of with me, Max?
It's not. To be honest, that storyline isn't unbelievable. It definitely could be a thing. And nothing galvanizes the souls of rugby players quite like sort of change when they've been in the sort of the doldrums like they have been. And then adding some fresh blood, you got. It was did Reece Curry get a shout in there? No, he didn't get brought in.
Well, I don't know if he did.
I don't think so.
Mate, he's been one of the form loose heads in the Prem. Like he's an absolute leviathan. He's horrible. Big red and nasty. Just horrible. I know there's questions about his size, but I think he carries it very well. But yeah, he would have been handy as well. Obviously, Nicky Smith going well for Leicester. But you're right. You add a few of these individuals in, suddenly Wales
and
attack.
a bit, yeah, and like all accounts, you just
fluid.
felt like Gats had almost lost the change room. I don't really know.
And then
like,
emotionally,
that's just me sort of surmising.
Exactly, you could say that happened. That is massive. That's probably bigger than any other sort of factor going into performance. And
am I right in saying they brought Adam Jones in? They brought him in from
Bomb's in there. He's doing he's scrum coaching. He's a huge player, huge player manager, like very popular man with all he works with.
So you suddenly bring in all that good energy, right? Bring in a few players, and things can very quickly turn. And
metamorphosis can occur, indeed.
Hey, look at what happened. Like with Zebre, obviously they got that win a couple of weeks ago at Ulster. There's a first win on the road since 2019 or something stupid like that. And that win on the road was against Benetton, so it was in Italy, so it doesn't really count. And then they go and back it up the week after. Yeah, it's amazing what a little bit of confidence can, a one win on the road, and then it breeds confidence, and then they go and play at their skins and beat Edinburgh. So yeah, I'm suddenly hopeful for Welsh rugby. I think, and we've got to touch on it. Who's going to take over at Welsh rugby as well?
I see Michael Checkers hosting talks with the WRU.
Really?
I imagine he's a well-wanted man with the news of the Wallabies as well.
But there's Franco Smith is a big name up there as well.
Franco Smith in the press, Ryan. Very interesting way of answering the question.
Door wide open, right?
Come get me.
I was there. I was involved in it. It was down at the Dragons game.
I would love to coach international rugby again. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Boys, he's going to want to. Every coach wants to go to World Cup. Every coach wants to coach international.
I get it.
And so, I see it. I understand why Franco Smith would want to get, because we talked about it. We're like, who would want to even touch Welsh rugby with a barge pole? It's just like a poison chalice. But that's the sort of thing he would be able to get in, because they're looking. They need a director of rugby at the top. Then they need a coach. But he almost fits the mold for both. Look at what he did with Italian rugby.
That's true. That's true.
So you start going, that could be interesting. And then we've obviously chatted about Gregor and his contract's up at the same time in Scotland next year before a World Cup. So it pushes a bit more pressure on the SRU to go, what are you doing with Franco Smith? Are you keeping him? Is he going? So that's why I see him leaving it open. You see him leaving it open because he's like, well, yeah, why not? Throw my hat in the ring. I've heard Dave Rennie for Wallabies again.
That's a shout, though, isn't it?
It's mental, isn't it? That's
weird, isn't it?
You imagine, imagine the ex-girlfriend coming back up to him and being like, I made some really bad
How are you going to sort that out? Yeah, like how do you even open on that? We fuck. Yeah, like they're just out in front of his guy.
I fucked up, man.
Sorry.
I fucked up, man.
I got really study, and then now I just want to go back to
like a boombox. Guys, I miss you. I want you back.
I want you back.
Are you? I feel like shit. I just want her back. I just want her back.
Things back as they were.
Oh God.
So there's a couple front runners, but yeah, I think I can't see why not put your hat in the ring. And for Wales, I don't think Franco Smith.
Australia and Wales, big jobs up. That's some big jobs up there. Ooh,
some big juice.
guys, can we just be fair a little bit, right? So just both of you just give your thoughts on what Warren Gatland has done for Wales. But bearing in mind, he obviously turned them into a Grand Slam winning team. They are still, with France, the country with the most Six Nations Grand Slam. He single-handedly guided Wales to more Grand Slams than England have ever won in the Six Nations. You know,
That's
2 World Cup semis. How is this all going to affect his legacy? Like, this is, what are your thoughts?
mate. How wild is that, by the way? That Wales had that many Grand Slams. It's almost it's undershadowed because of back then the Southern Hemisphere was this cauldron of absolute world dominance.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if you're a Grand Slam daddy in the Six Nations now, you're potentially number 1 or number 2 at least in the world.
True.
Whereas back then it was like those teams would come and tour, and they'd smack around all the home nations a bit, realistically. But yeah, mate, Warren Gatland, huge legacy left behind. That you can't take that from him. Sure, it's concluded in a sort of underwhelming state of affairs, but the man's done amazing things as a coach for Welsh rugby, Wasps, etc. So Lions, he's been massively successful. Clearly knows what he's about.
So, Max, what do we think of some former players who arguably owe their entire careers, really, because of the success of the Welsh setup under Warren Gatland? They owe their careers to Warren, but now are piling in and have been piling into him over the last few months.
Oh man, it's tough, isn't it? Because when you're in it, when you're a rugby player, a young man, you're doing what you're told by sometimes disciplinarian coaches. I've heard Warren Gatland could be a taskmaster. It can become quite ad hominem, quite personal. Like, whereas it is a lot of the time for these guys, it's a business thing. So I can't speak for those guys' experiences, obviously. Like, those are all very personal and private in that regard, and what happened to them. But it's like, how do you have to be able to separate that from the man sometimes and not make everything personal. But it's very easy for that to all sort of coalesce and come together, and then it's a bit like, good riddance. He was like this and this, and I've had, because as a player, Rye's probably had some similar experiences. You do have these exchanges with coaches, and they can leave like bad taste in your mouth. But I think as you grow older, you learn that it's not really as personal as it seemed at the time. But such is the way with these things. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly like me and Franco Smith. I couldn't stand him when he came into Glasgow. I fucking hated the man. Do you know what I mean? And you look at our relationship now, it's really weird how we get on so well.
Do you know what I mean?
Because and so you have those moments. And also, like, when I talk about the Scotland job and 2026 with Gregor Townsend's contract being up, it's not anything against Gregor, because I won a title under him, 2015, the Pro 12 title with Gregor Townsend. Like, played me on so many, took me to World Cups and played under him for Scotland for so long. So got a really good relationship with him. But equally, like, you got to start looking at things and going, almost like a fan as well, and going, well, hold on, is there time for him to move over? It's nothing personal with Gregor. So it's a difficult one, isn't it? And you've got players that maybe some of them go overboard, but everyone knows it was the right thing for Gatland to sort of move on. And it was probably the wrong decision when they reappointed him right at the beginning with Gatland.
Yeah.
Like, they should probably never, and he should just never have taken the job, because I don't know, mate, I'm guessing he thought he was going to be able to turn things around, and clearly he hasn't. So it's sad, but memories are very short, aren't they?
Yeah. You know what I like in it too? Have you watched, Mark, have you ever watched Godfather with Michael Corleone? So you know when they're whacking people, when he's tying up all the loose ends and he's trying to sort of consolidate his power and create sort of the Teflon Don, Michael Corleone. He says when he's killing all these people, it's never personal, it's always business. I always think that with coaches, because sometimes when a coach is talking to an athlete, the athlete sees themselves as something else, obviously. And I think when that discrepancy happens, where your opinion of yourself isn't as strong as the opinion of the guy who holds all power of your destiny, it becomes very personal then. But really, he's just making a business decision because he's trying to get the best out of the team. And if he thinks it's your time to be dropped or whatever it is, I can imagine this would be where some of these emotional remarks, etc., come from. So when they get to see another man sort of jaded, like potentially Warren Gatland was. You can sort of jump right in there and throw the dagger in, etc. But it's just sports management. That's just how it is. It's always going to be personal because it's a lifestyle. It's not as simple as looking at it from a business perspective. But yeah, Don Gatland.
Don Gatland, great.
I can make him a discovery can of views.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. That's how I see it anyway.
Great
There's always
analogy there.
take yourself from it, yeah.
Guys, let's get slightly back on track. We have talked about Wales. What about Ireland? Right, they've obviously won 18 of their last 20 matches in the Six Nations. They're the only unbeaten side this tournament. What's their mindset going into this game?
World domination.
Yeah, it's just another one, another scalp. It's just another sort of set of 15 blokes in the way of their all powerful domination. Exactly as Rye said. I think, yeah, it's not really. I can't. This team's so like professional and efficient right now. I don't even see them having these kind of banana skins anymore.
All right, well, hold on. Here we go. Craig Casey injured. Here's a really interesting one. Jamison Gibson Park. Let's say he's injured. He's out. Then what?
What's Connor can still get it done, can't he?
Oh, I don't know. Can he to a level that Gibson Park can? Like, I think I'm starting to realise how important Jamison Gibson Park is. It's like Scotland losing to a Plottu. At the moment, we're going into this with the spine. No. I genuinely think he's that important. He plays all the time. What would happen if he wasn't playing?
I agree he's very important, but there's a number of
Who's behind Conor Murray? Who's behind Conor Murray? I'm trying to think.
I know, but Conor Murray just has to pass the ball and box kick like he does and be efficient with those exits, etc. The rest of that team are a bunch of green-clad assassins. Like,
you know how important a 9 is, mate.
Yeah, but also we're talking about Conor Murray here. He's like a double lion. Like, it's not like he's like the backup is like somebody who's just an absolute
42. He's 42.
No, he's done a bit, bro. I reckon he can manage a game still. He can let that big green tank in front of him get him on front.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there to see because I'm a big fan of James.
Here's just you're right. There's an interesting depth thing there, isn't there, with 9?
Who else? The third one is Caelan Blade with 3 caps. I don't know if he's in. You might have watched him in the URC. But
yeah, he plays Connor. He's I'm pretty sure he plays Connor. Yeah, and a good player, but nothing like the consistency and like that you get from Gibson Park. So I don't know. That's just an interesting one for me. If you take him out the fray, what would happen? And I agree. Like the assault they can still put on people with that forward back's mental. But he is a big old part of Ireland, and it would be interesting to see what happened if he got injured.
It's like 9 and tight head right now, isn't it? Really for them.
Yeah,
little bit of a kind of depth problem, but
God, we're gonna get slagged in the comments.
Hey guys, I mean, we are picking. I mean, this is you've got
no. Well, I'm just trying to find something.
I'd say they get it done without Gibson Park, brother. 100%.
Have you gone into certain games? Well, you obviously have, and if any examples come to mind, that'd be great. Where you know you're expected to win. You're on the run that you are. You know the form that you have. You know you're a superior side, but the mental side, in a weird way, has been your downfall because you are in that state of mind.
It does happen. It happens definitely happens in the league a bit. Like you can go to sort of dark places in like this time of year, go away to Newcastle, Kingston Park. It's dreary. It's raining sideways. They're right up for it. They're like Viagra for it, and you come unstuck. But I think at international level, the whole production, the whole sort of patriotic duty, and the whole occasion, it makes it much more difficult for those sort of games to happen, I think.
Oh, I don't know, because I've relived that this week already. Right, 2017, we beat Ireland in the first game of the Six Nations. Scotland beat Ireland in the first game of the Six Nations. And then we went away to France and we were close. And it was like, boys, we've got something good here. This is great. And then England came we went down to England, and that's when we lost
murdered you,
61-20.
didn't they?
And it was like, we'd beaten Ireland, we were close against France, and we were like, oh, suddenly going down there with Verncott, mate. And
I know, but that was never like a shoe-in game, was it?
But no, not a shoo-in, but like you start to build something up and then everything just goes wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah,
And the only reason I remember it, and you know how bad my fucking memory is with matches, is because they obviously chatted about that yesterday. And looking back at it, like it was just one of the worst games.
that was
Scotland
Jonathan
jersey.
Joseph's
JJ's hat trick.
performance. Yeah,
Hat trick for him, and they had like, and then we were chatting like they're just fucking nasty, like Dylan Hartley, Courtney Laws, Mike Brown. It was just a fucking team of aggro, mate, absolute aggro, and they were just coming after me, and I was like, "This, oh my god, what is this?
This
Oh,
is horrible.
mate.
I want to go home.
Fucking."
The
And we went to
Hey,
we went to Disham next day, and we had been 61 points put on us, and we had a meeting that afternoon. It was Diwali, and the waiter was so happy we were there. He gave us all our food for free, and we were like, mate, this is Edinburgh. We're like, we've just been pumped by 60 points. And then he wanted to put face paint for Diwali on Duncan Weir, and we were like, yeah, let him do it. Covered Dunky in like face paint. We had a meeting that afternoon. Vern Cotter was fucking about to tear us a new one. Dunky's got like face paint all over him. He's like trying to rub it off. He's like, boys, we're getting killed. It was brutal. And then I suppose you flip it the other way round. England went on that massive run before 2018. They'd won something like 24 out of 25 games, something stupid. And then they lost against us, the whole tunnel incident at Murrayfield. They suddenly lost against us. And that was it, the downfall of England. So
You were the downfall of England.
So
I was the rise of Scotland in the downfall of
You were
England.
the
yeah,
catalyst for how it
I
was.
mean,
Unbelievable.
If Wales are to land any blows, how are they going to do it? Are there any weaknesses in this island side?
Nah, not really. It's that time of the show to say a big thank you to our sponsors that have been with us all the bloody way. Wolfcraig Distillers. You can head over to their website, Max, which is
Wolfcraig.com.
go and grab yourself a wonderful bottle of gin or, of course, a beautiful bottle of whiskey. And make sure you support them as they have supported us. And they are the reasons we are ringing through your ears right now. So a big shout out. Thank you very much once again to Wolfcraig Distillers, helping us all the way. Whiskey, whiskey, whiskey.
Okay, so, well, speaking of England versus Scotland, as Ryan's been talking about, the Calcutta Cup up for grabs. Scotland hoping to make it 5 wins in a row over their old rivals. Interesting one, guys. I mean, two sides coming at it from different angles, right? England brimming with positivity after beating France at the death. Scotland didn't really lay a glove on Ireland, so perhaps optimism slightly down there. What are we thinking?
Positivity from England or just arrogance? I don't know. Only joking. God, calm down. Boys, I'm nervous.
I know
nervous.
you actually are nervous, yeah. And
Yeah, I am.
You told me the Scottish boys are a little nervous.
No, I didn't say anything about the Scottish boys being nervous. I said about boys that are going down, because we're going down there to try and line our jackets with a bit of moolah la, aren't we? So when you go down to Twickenham to do this stuff, you want to big your team up. But yeah, I don't know. I just think coming into this, I was so confident, like with the sort of core of the team, but you've got huge injury concerns with Scotland. Like I know that Finn Russell and Darcy Graham are a doubt. I think Finn will probably be available. Darcy Graham maybe not, but you got Carl Steyn out injured. Scott Cummins, like he's a big part of the second row. You don't realise how big a part he is. But you got him injured at the moment. Like the next backup second row, you've got Grant Gilchrist and Johnny Gray, and then it's a guy from Edinburgh. Marshall Sykes. Do you know what I mean? And you look at the power of England and what they've got on the bench and some of the players they've got. Same with the front row, mate. It's like a couple more injuries to Scotland, and we're in a bad place. So I'm going to obviously back the boys. I'm always going to back my boys, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this one. It's like it's one of those things. Like last week playing Ireland, it was like it's been too long. 10 games is too long. We're going to win, and now it's like fucking hell. We've done 4 in a row. Oh, maybe that's too long. Can it be 5? Can it? Oh God.
Yeah, I doubt it.
What do you think, Max? You know, the real
problem is-
England.
This game is actually very important to England, if you think about it, lads. If you think about it. It
Oh,
was,
same as Scotland.
yeah,
You
the
fight
one-
England's. You fight England's course. Go on.
Yeah, no, same for Scotland, actually, absolutely. But I think just with the nature of that France victory, was it a glitch? Was
Yeah.
it an outlier? Because there's arguments to be made there.
Oh, I hope it was.
And
a
if you
glitch.
lose
I
to
hope
an
it was just
understrength
gambling.
Scotland team, it could get fishy very quickly. But saying all of that, I doubt it. I do think England potentially psychologically have very much turned a corner, and I'm very excited to see what happens. The question is, what sort of team will Big Stephen pick? What's he
Same.
think?
I think he's going to go exactly
No,
the
exactly
same.
the same. You think exactly the same? I think you're right.
Psychologically, mentally, for England against Scotland.
Did
For
you
Scotland,
see-
it's not.
Or did you
Is that-
see the press about Marcus Smith? They should make him play 9.
Oh my God.
It's mental. 2 games, right? 2 games. He was he's probably the best player for England in the autumn internationals at
Yeah.
10. Suddenly, because
Ridiculous.
obviously it's been played very well, they've beaten France at home by the skin of their enamel, might I add.
Yeah.
And suddenly, no, he can't. Furbank's
Yeah.
got to be in there when he's fit. Come on.
Come on now. Absolutely. It's absolutely ridiculous. And some of the media is, and it's, I don't know if you ever read Stephen Jones, but he has got some sort of vendetta against Marcus. It's so bizarre. If you ever read his articles, it's like
I
all the
think
comments underneath
he's
with not.
he's a real Puritan for the old game manager. What?
But it's not.
Well, I think England stick with the same team. I think
I agree.
Scotland, it's a huge loss for Darcy Graham. I know I always say this, Stano. I think Stano starts ahead of either Darcy or Dewey. I genuinely like.
You think Stano's the
you
guy?
are well, mate. He's got
He
that
is-
winning
he-
mentality. URC winning captain to throw him
He-
into the mix with that. That's what you want. You want those winners in there. Problem is at the moment, Scotland are littered with a few Edinburgh players who aren't winners. So.
Every
why did I
time.
do that?
Still
Why did I
dividing,
do that?
still dividing
wrong
for
with
no
you?
reason that can help
What's
his
wrong with you?
country. It's absolutely incredible. But Ryan, do you think that the England players, the Scotland players rather, are not actually, they're used to beating England, right? It is the one nation that they have regularly now in the past half a decade. England have won just once in the last 7 matches, right, against Scotland. So a lot of those players aren't going to be that scared of playing England, right? So
No. That's very deceptive.
Is it?
I
Is
don't know.
it genuine?
I-
Is
Do
that how it-
you know
is that
what?
not how it works?
Genuinely, this could go 2 ways, and obviously anything can go 2 ways. But with England winning last week, it puts Scotland on high alert. They're going, right, we need to really make sure it's not a given. I joke it's a given when we play England. It almost has become, but for them winning last week now puts boys on a little bit more of a run. We've got to make sure we switch on and we get this right. It's not an easy place to go and play, Twickenham. And you've seen the amount of how many teams England have nearly beat at Twickenham recently.
There it is.
I think it's going to be so close, but I think Scotland need everything to go right. Finn needs to have a brilliant game, not just for Scotland, but for the fact that he wants to go on a Lions tour. I think Tom Jordan and Hugh Jones, you need Shuggy to do what he always does. Shuggy, if he touches the ball 4 times, but 4 times he makes a line break, scores 2. That's what you need from Hugh Jones, where you've got him at his best. Whoever slots in into the wing, I don't know, Kyle Rowe, he maybe needs to do a job. Dewey needs to turn up. Smoggy, we've not really seen much of Blair Kinghorn this Six Nations yet. And everyone's been talking about him, saying right, I want to see him on a Lions tour, but hasn't had the ability to do a huge amount. But it's the forward pack for me that just needs to get ready to just fucking end themselves. They've had a week off. They're down in Spain. Everyone's going to come with fucking sunburn because the Scots are down there, and they need to turn up. They need to bar up front and try and batter England. Go after Finn Smith, and just maybe, we can do it again. 5 in a row. I love the memes where people are like, my 5-year-old son knows nothing but winning the Calcutta Cup.
That's
It's so good.
That's very
So
good. That's very good. Very good.
Oh, so yeah. Oh god, it's gonna be nerve-wracking. I'm excited though. Are you going to the game, Mac?
No.
You're trying to go all out.
I'll see. We'll see.
You're down there, Ryan, yeah?
I am. I'm down on Thursday. Just got a few bits on Friday, and then I'll wade into it with a mighty hangover.
Okay, fair play. But Darcy Graham is in contention to play. I was going to ask you your thoughts on that. That both Darcy and Finn are in contention. Is that Is that normal?
Yeah, well, they've had 2 weeks since the concussion
weeks,
stuff, so it's all to do with concussion protocols. And you saw Dr. John Hanson. He was commended for not letting Finn Russell go back on the field against Ireland because obviously he had passed the HIA assessment, but he said no, don't think he's right. And a lot of people, rightly so, were saying that's good. Just don't let him go back on for the sake of it. So Finn, I think, what I've heard, he should be okay. Darcy, I'm not sure. I'll be honest. I texted him and it wasn't as bad as they thought at first. But that was the last I'd spoken to him. So yeah, fingers crossed he's good. But I'll be honest, I don't know.
Right, let's move on to Italy versus France. Worth saying, France very much deserved probably to lose to the Italians last season. Italy have lost just once in their last 5 Six Nations matches. Let's say thoughts.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Is that right?
I
did look at it.
No, Scotland's one of them. Yeah.
Scotland's one of them, but they've obviously beaten
Wales.
They drew with France and they beat Scotland last time. So yeah.
I don't know.
They're not going to beat France. Like France is just an off day.
But...
Look, as go back, but France, it was just an off day, wasn't it?
Is it?
If a couple of those passes are stuck, they would have scored them and gone.
By the way, there were a lot of comments about that, which was, the classic, if my, uncle, aunt had a cock, she'd be my uncle type thing. And I was like, yeah, do we actually think, would you agree with that? That's just how rugby is, in that the score has happened.
I take that point, but any other time you see those guys in those situations, they finish. But especially those certain individuals. But do the French have the yips? Dun dun dun. I don't think so.
Well, listen, if there's a place that the Italians are going to do it, it's going to be back at Stadio Olimpico. They sold it out recently, didn't they? Last game, so it'll make it more interesting. It will make it more interesting.
7-1 split. 7-1 splits coming, lads, from the French. Apparently,
do you reckon?
Really?
Do you reckon?
That's what we hear. That's what I'm hearing through the grapevine.
The interesting bit is a bit like, I suppose, South Africa in a way. Is that France have a couple of players who play, Ramos fills in, he plays easily at fly half, like actually. And then you've got Dupont who can pretty much play, I think, in any position, including prop probably. So suddenly do you then, you probably don't even need much
and then
cover.
You've got mega humans in the pack, so you don't want to play them for too long. And you could just roll them on and give the boys 50 minutes of good code, then you got a fresh set of legs for the last half hour. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know, but yeah,
I think if they do that, that suits the Italians more, because I reckon that's one place. Yeah, the Italians, I think, they'll go toe to toe in the pack. They're just hearty motherfuckers like Lamaro, Canone. They'll just be going after it. It'll be like gladiatorial, won't it? So they'll just be going on. End myself today.
No, they are very much like that. That's true, but mate, that's a lot of French birth.
Yeah, but I think the French it is Trey Grand amount
Trey
of
Bouffe, Trey Grand
Bouffe. Trey Grand amount to boof Rodney, but I genuinely think if you're going to cut them open in the backs that you've got, don't try and go through the guts with them, because the eye ties, I think, are just going to be fucking ready for a battle.
I think it's
going to be a good game, and then this is what I love. We're actually talking about
Italy
Italians
yeah,
going toe to toe with
I know.
France. So
They
I
can
hope it
they can
is.
get it done. But
And you know me and my Italian mates, molto bene. By the way, I still need to have a word with the sighting commissioner because I was gouged in that melee.
In the video, you were with all the Italian boys.
Have you seen it, Max?
no.
Actually, they're all
Yeah,
there.
get on your phone now. Get on your phone now and go and watch the clip of me celebrating. No, sorry. Rewind. Not celebrating. Interviewing one of the Zebra players after the game, and I was dragged into a photo with them of where I was then eye gouged. I felt like I was back playing against Zebra. I think it might have been an inside joke because they used to gouge me all the time when I played Benetton and Zebra. He's having a look. He's having a little gander. The only abuse I got was I put a Southern Italian song, and someone said,
you
"This
actually
is
did get
fucking-"
gouged.
Hold on a minute.
That class, they are just absolutely mobbing you.
You imagine any other presenter like getting dragged into that and just
Yeah.
like spanning out the back end of it? I'm not sure it would go, but
One
it
of
was
the
good
boys.
to be. So
boys.
me and my Italian brothers, molto bene, molto bene. Good luck. How do you say
Right.
good luck in Italian, Max?
I don't actually know. What is it?
But buona fortuna.
Oh, Mark. Buona
Buona
fortuna.
fortuna. Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Mamma mia. So is that us? Are we parking it there?
So that takes us now to our predictions. Also, I do speak Italian, and it's definitely buona fortuna. Right. So let's start with the first game, please. Wales versus Ireland. Max.
Ireland.
Bye.
Oh, mate. I reckon 20 points.
25.
Yeah.
Great. New dawn for Welsh rugby. Cheers, lads. England versus
Give it
Scotland.
time. The sun's still
England,
rising.
Scotland. I've got. I mean, there's my heart and there's my head. I'm going with my heart, and I'm going to go Scotland by 2.
England by 10.
Look at that. That's classic English prediction.
No, that is literally brain and heart.
Insert
for
any
once, either
nation,
side.
England by 10.
No, it's not like that.
I'm joking, mate. I'm
It's
joking.
not.
Right, Italy
glory.
versus France.
France by 10.
France by 3.
Whoa,
Yeah,
wowee.
cheeky, closey. Fair play. I will say that on our YouTube last week, there were a lot of comments that came in. So we appreciate all of them that have come in. We got a little bit slow, I think, our social media team answering a lot of the comments, but also particularly for the Scotland-Ireland, there was a lot in there on, particularly on the Cian Healy, and you guys, feeling that what was he doing in there, and it really split.
No, I got some good ones back actually.
Yeah, people are because you made
Also, I think I got it wrong. I think he actually made it onto the field, and I said he didn't.
No, you didn't need to say that, Ryan, because people defended you in the comments saying he meant that he barely got any time in there. What was the point? Whereas we all know
Okay,
cut that.
Yeah, cut that bit. Cheers, Jim.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was very interesting because that one there was a lot of back and forths between and a lot of very disappointed Scotsmen as well for not showing up who really wanted more. So,
Well, yeah, thank you very much. Keep wading in there. I'm going to quickly touch on it. Rugby 25. Max, do you own a PlayStation or an Xbox or anything like that?
Lads, I'm not going to play that game.
Well, but I think we should. I think there's been a bit of chat. Some people have thrown some stuff in there. They want to see us go up against each other. I think there's definitely something to be done there. They've done pretty good with the player bios and stuff. I saw Bristol doing some stuff.
Was Matt in there?
No, they didn't use my face, but I'm commenting on people's likeness, and there is some serious. No, I am in the game, but I mean, likeness of players is there are some very
Josh Caulfield, mate. how similar does he look to? It's like a
Incredible.
fucking painting of him. It's
Yeah.
bang
It's
on.
more Josh Caulfield than Josh Caulfield. It was mental. It was class. I was like, the likeness on some of these is very good. Yeah.
So
fair
yeah, I
play.
think we need to get involved. It's great. It's great that there's Rugby 25.
All they have to do is take that old 08 and reskin it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think so.
I mean, technically, all they need to do
have.
is take Jonah Lomu and just reskin it because that was.
But Lomu or that. Do you know what I mean? One or the other.
Yeah.
Just reskin the game to the modern day, and you're gonna make it's gonna be a success.
Well, this is something I've had such a bugbear about for so long because, and this is slightly going off topic, but the guy who is head of EA Sports, right, for years is an Australian who is mad about rugby, and he was like, it is nigh on impossible to get it right because the amount of money that needs to go into creating a game, like an intuitive game that would work, is very, very, very tricky. So I could not have been more depressed hearing it from basically the one company you want to go and make.
Also, imagine making a game and then all we do with rugby is change the fucking laws and the rules. So
Yeah,
they'd never be able to
exactly
keep up with us. I mean, what about Max, America, changing the rules on the scrums? Have you seen that?
Yes, that is a farce, isn't it?
Are you okay about that? I don't think you should be okay about that. I think you should be fucking angry.
I don't know why they want to speed up the game. Why don't they just play league?
Because they're Americans.
Yeah.
They're oh, man, you know what? We're going to come in and fucking mess about with this fucking game you call rugby. No, leave it how it is.
Yeah, but I would have thought they would have liked the scrum. That's like, I thought that would have been like uber American culture.
Uber American.
Yeah.
No. They're trying, like, what is it? There's a knock on. They're like saying that you can then take a line out.
Yeah, just eliminate it completely as an option.
Yeah, they like a few things from the maul. I think you can. It's a free kick. There's no option to take a scrum. So, yeah, not sure about that. Not sure about that.
Yeah, bizarre.
And then again, the Americans are quite good at sport. So
Maybe they know. Maybe
they know the formulas.
We don't. Yeah.
Well, speaking of American sports, our old pal, a friend of the show, Lewis Rees-Zammit is not returning to rugby. Just in the last few hours, he has re-signed.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
for the Jaguars. So, well, say to that. Let's not forget as well, guys, your fantasy teams. I'm saying guys as though I'm talking to all of our listeners and our viewers. Not to forget, but I'm actually talking to the two idiots who co-host with.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna do it.
Just get it right. Gee,
I'm gonna get.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna get Big Jim. Big Jim's gonna message me and tell me when to do it this time.
Yes,
we will do it, and it's this round that we're
counting.
We're gonna have a competition
this round from round 3. Okay,
round 3.
No, but we're having a little individual competition between us 3 as well. So keep your eyes peeled to see
very good.
Who wins out of the 3 of us this weekend.
Okay, but I like we also go up against the greatest Schumann. And what was the Tuipulotu one? There was a very
Hock Tuipulotu. That is.
Oh, whoever you are, you're a great human being. Thank you for that.
He's in the comments, boys. He was in the comments. He said he didn't expect.
The greatest human.
He felt like he had won the bingo. He said, I saw somewhere. I can't remember.
Really? What? He commented in that he was.
Yeah.
The Hock Tuipulotu is class.
Yeah, he said he felt like he was the bingo winner. So congratulations. Oh, well, what a lovely show. What a wonderful show.
Great times and very, very excited, boys, for another weekend of Six Nations coming up. And we will have more and hopefully a very good guest next week. So that should be exciting as well. Keep your eyes peeled on that one. But a huge thank you to Ryan and Max, as always. Go well, boys, this weekend. Ryan, please survive Twickenham. And we will see all of you lovely people next week.
More or nothing.